Hey, I'm here in San Diego with one of my guys, Los, who has been able to really change his world with a camera and serving people in the community with marketing in their local area. Los, kind of introduce yourself, tell the audience, what is it you do, who do you help, and a little bit about yourself.
All right, so who do I help out right now? I help out service-based businesses become the most visible business in their zip codes. But before all that started, it all started for me actually in 2015. I was 22 years old when I started my first gym. It was actually a fit body boot camp. And during that time, that year was my hardest year in business because I was handing out flyers, knocking doors. So I was in a big shopping center. I became friends with every single business owner. I'm like, hey, come on in for a free week of working out with me at my studio and handing out flyers. That was brutal. During that time, I wasn't able to afford trainers, but I was teaching 8 sessions a day, Monday through Friday, and then 2 sessions on Saturday. Once that year went by, I saved up enough money to be one of Alex Hormozi's first gym launch clients. So he personally launched my gym in mid-2016 to 2019, and that's when my business skyrocketed. He taught me the power of Facebook ads. So Facebook ads back then were very cheap. I was getting leads for 20, 30 cent leads, which is unheard of in today's time with 2025, 2026. But back then, I did not take my leads seriously, meaning I would let my leads run and people would just come to my gym and I would sign them up. During that time, I got a mini heart attack because I was getting so many leads, I actually had to get hospitalized because I was so overwhelmed with the amount of work that I had. So I took a step back and I started hiring key players in my gym. For example, I ended up hiring 3 trainers and a person to help me out texting all the leads that were coming in. That person is a virtual assistant, which I'll get back to in a little bit later. But during that time, I saw the power of ads. Through the power of ads, I was able to buy out my business partner a year later. And a year after that, I was able to de-franchise from Fit Body Bootcamp and then start my own brand, which is Body by You. That's why my name on Instagram is Los Body by You. Fast forward during we took our gym from in-person to remote workouts, so daily Zoom workouts. And that's when I started seeing the power of Instagram. Organically, I started focusing on one of my trainer's brands. And the first 6 months, we didn't see anything pop off, but we were teaching people what to get at the grocery stores, hey, tips and tricks at the gym, how to sleep better, what activities you should do to see results. That translated into a 6-figure business solely from Instagram with 0 ad spend. Now, during our ads were getting very, we weren't running ads, right? So we had to focus heavily on organic. Now, once it ended, we decided to open back up the gym. Our lease was about to end and we were like, hey, I don't think it makes sense to own a brick and mortar business anymore. Like we saw the power of online money, right? And that's when we decided to close down the gym and then we got into property. So I bought my first real estate investment at 28 years old. Now, during that time, I invested in other coaches like Wes Watson. That's where I met Clint through Wes's program, and we hit it off instantaneously. We kept in touch for many years. Now, I started working with other service businesses just for fun. I was like, hey, I filmed myself when I owned my gym. I filmed my own ads. I filmed my trainer doing their ads. I was like, what if we did this for service-based businesses? Because every gym owner talks on camera. Every single gym owner. Every fitness influencer talks on camera. But guess which are the that don't talk on cameras? Service businesses, right? So with service businesses, the bar is set so low for a service business to crush it on Instagram, on Facebook, because if you go, let's just say you own an HVAC business, I want you to go look at your competitors on Instagram. Chances are they're just posting stock images like Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Memorial Day, Labor Day, Canva looking posts, and maybe some pictures of their jobs. But none of them are doing the most crucial thing, which is talking to their ideal avatar. Sure. So when I saw that bottleneck when it comes to service-based businesses, I was like, yo, this is a bottleneck that I could easily, I wouldn't say bottleneck, what would be like a word for it?
Well, it's just an opportunity.
So I saw this opportunity with service-based business owners. I'm like, wait, time out. I was looking at landscapers, HVACs, party planners, roofers, people that,
junk removal.
Junk removal. All these businesses, right? Dentists, the list goes on, lawyers. And I was like, none of them are talking on camera. And then I started doing my research. I was like, oh shit, like a lawyer spends $1,000 on Google to get a good lead, but they may not even close them, right? So then one of my first clients was Mo at Law. We started focusing on organic content. And then from there, I was like, hey, let's just start running some ads behind this. Didn't work in the beginning. So what I did with them, we made their page super pretty and we started focusing on giveaways. So giveaways for any service-based business to gain visibility is the easiest way is by doing a giveaway. But before you launch that giveaway, you want to have content on your page showing people what you do, your testimonials, pictures of your family, and what you like to do for fun. I'm not into sports, but let's just say Clint likes the Raiders and I like the Chargers, and we do the exact same service. You might want to work with Clint because he likes the Raiders, and you might want to work with me because you like the Chargers. So that's what you should do with your service business, is showcase what you like to do for fun. So once I saw that moment, I was like, hey, I feel like I could do this for service-based businesses. That's when everything took off for me.
Yeah, 100%. And one thing he said right there, there's a couple of things that you want to unpack. First is Los had to identify his avatar, who it is he wanted to solve a problem for. Not everybody, but one ideological type, a person in a certain area. That's powerful. Every business, when I talk with anybody and we lock in what we're gonna do with their content, we lock in what we're gonna do with their ads, we're gonna lock in what we're gonna do with their business mentoring, we talk about who is it we help, because we don't need to talk to everybody. We just need to dial in on that one person that we wanna solve a problem for, your ideal client. Number two is he talks about, he didn't lead with business. When it comes to social media, it's very important to connect first. Lay down the connection points first and then pivot over into a business opportunity, because that feels very organic and real. I didn't meet Los and be like, let's do business today. Like, let's do this. That naturally unfolded on its own terms over time by us connecting first and then him seeing me over and over again do something that he was interested in doing or something very similar. That's the point where we can talk business easily, because it's numbers. Like when we talk about something we want to do a business, like sure, let's just do it. Like, it doesn't even really matter. It's because I trust him. I've known him for years. I like how he operates his business. So anything that we're going to collab with on the future just makes sense. So real quick, pulling my phone. This is all for real here. This is podcast style. So you bring on a new client. What does that look like for you? Like how does that go? Someone signs up, say, hey, I'm a lawn care person. What is the client experience when you lock in? Walk me through your process.
So for me, speed is king. What boils my blood with all these marketing agencies, I don't consider myself, first off, a marketing agency. I consider myself your coach. Because when you're working with a marketing agency, you're paying them $3,000 a month. That's $36,000 a year for renting your success. When my clients work with me, I teach them how to keep their marketing in-house, so they're saving those $36,000 a year. So right when they sign up with me, I send them an intake form of why they believe they're the best business ever. Like, why are they the best landscaper in town? What separates them from every other landscaper? And what are some inspiration accounts that you like on Instagram, so my team can take over from there. Now, once that happens, speed is king. The next day, my lawn care client is talking to my executive assistant, which she's a virtual assistant, and she's onboarding him on what we need from him. His passwords, Google Drive docs, anything that we need to start scaling, anything that we need to start creating that omnipresence on his business. So my thing, Clint, is just speed is king. I don't like when people sign up with somebody and it takes them 3 weeks to get back. Like, I like to move fast so we could still hit that client's high point. Because right when they sign up with you, they're at a spiritual high, and it's our job to keep that spiritual high every step of the way.
Sure, no, I like that. So speed to close, speed to lead's a real thing in business. I set up an immediate call, almost identical structure, does it a little bit differently, but that has worked out really well, is because when you purchase something, just like you got tickets to the ball game going Saturday, like you're on a euphoric emotional high. If you wait too long, that's when all those doubts sink in. Like, did I waste my money? Is there another opportunity? They're gonna see someone else's ad for cheaper. All those kinds of problems, something in life will happen. Now you gotta seize the moment quick, move in and get the ball rolling, because there is a timeline to where the results will start to flow out. Waiting 3 weeks just to start means it's 3 weeks later for your results to start flowing in. Complete waste of time, so I 100% agree with that approach. Number two is, if someone were to kind of look in, what's the general price range of your product or service that if someone wanted help, what would they be looking to lay down for your offer?
So for my offer, as long as they have a credit score over 700, it comes out to as little as $400 a month.
Okay.
Right? Now, I don't like taking everybody's money because not all money is good money. So like if I know this investment of you working with me is gonna put you and your family on the streets, and I'm not the guy for you. For example, when I worked with Alex Hermosi and Gym Launch, I put a lot of sweat equity knowing that, hey, this was gonna be a goal of mine and I had to get my credit in line to be able to receive those bank loans in order to work with my ideal coach. So now at the position I'm at in business, I like working with business owners that want to take souls. I don't like to work with a business owner that made a business for fun. Like, let me just start this business because it's cool to do a side hustle like Gary Vee says on Instagram. Like, hey, let me just start this mobile detail business because it's so cool. Why the did you even start in the first place? If you're starting a business, you gotta have the ego to say that you're the best. I don't care if you're a year in or 20 years in, but if you barely just started and you start seeing yourself, that 20-year version of you as a mobile detailer, how will that person talk on camera? How will that person operate? As long as you're operating like that year one in business, like you bring that future self till today, no one's gonna question you how many years you've been in business.
I love it. I love working with confident business owners. In this space, we are in competition. So if you're a passive business owner thinking things are gonna you're so good, the world's just gonna come to you, you're misaligned. Like you have to get out and be willing to take another business's toy, right? Because it's all attention, we're all fighting for the same space. When I do business online, I love the fact of my clients' successes. I know that other businesses are gonna struggle hard to deliver to that level. So I lead with that level of confidence, and it transcends my business and moves over into other businesses. And that's how we do it. So Los is perfectly aligned with how we do things. Los, real quick, just give them a general guidance on what is your current ad strategy. Just high level and where they would understand. So just walk them through your current advertising strategy for your own business.
So for my own business, you gotta get really good at talking to ChatGPT. Like me and ChatGPT, we're besties. I actually created like my own thought partner on ChatGPT. So like I trained, like for example, started ChatGPT. It's like, hey, I don't know how to talk to you, Mr. Chad. We'll call him Chad. Chad, I don't know how to talk to you. What questions can you ask me to better understand my business? And then from there, Chad, can you go layers deep? Once Chad really understands what you do for business, you just talk back and forth, and that's how you're gonna come up with your best content.
Yeah, 100%. So I use a similar process for ideation and to rapidly produce pieces of content. I've used something called Poppy AI.
I use that too.
Yeah, Poppy AI. I trained it with the way I speak from my YouTube and podcast videos, and then added in my ideal client. I've locked it into an output format for my long form, my short form, to where this thing just goes out and finds viral ideas for me, and then it presents me back ideas in a way that sounds like me and is really close to alignment with how I like my content laid out. And then for me to just review takes 5 minutes. So I do whole YouTube videos probably in 10 minutes, whole scripts. My short form, I shit out 10 ads in like seconds. So you've got to leverage these tools to at least get your creative ideas moving forward. And then you refine as a revision. It's so much faster than starting and saying, hey, what is it I'm going to talk about today? And then starting from scratch to script write that takes forever. I would not advise that for anybody out there. So one thing you didn't answer is, what is your current marketing strategy with your ads? So kind of like just give them some surface level. Obviously don't give away all the Gucci, but give them your primary way of generating your leads right now.
So the primary way I'm generating leads right now, I'm heavily focused on retargeting. So I'm going against marketers because I love showing testimonials. Testimonials outperform any top of funnel you could create for your business. Top of funnel means like, hey, this is who I am, this is what we do. If you don't know what to say, like this is who I am, this is what I do, go record your clients. Go record, the best yard you've done, the best pool you create. Ask them and ask them this. How did you feel about the pool we designed for you and built out for you the past 3 months? Let them talk. That could be a top of funnel ad just to start getting people to come in. Now, during that stage, before you launch that ad, you want to have at least 6 pieces of content on your page, because let's just say I see your ad, right? And me as a homeowner, I see your ad, I open the door, I'm like, Clint's a good looking person, he's kind of trustworthy. So I'm like, okay, Clint, before I let you in my house, I'm gonna go look at your other content, testimonials. Oh, pictures of his dog. I see he likes to work out. Follow. that only happened because of the content that he already established on the page. The front end, which is that ad is saying, hey, this is Clint, this is what I do, or hey, these are my client testimonials, this is what I do. That client would not have followed you if you didn't have those 6 pieces of content on your page.
Sure.
Now, if you wanted to take souls with me, we just worked with a company, they do 15 million a year. They're called Celco, C-E-L-C-O, the biggest restoration company in Southern California. And I was like, hey, do you guys want to take souls with me? And they're like, yeah, I want to take souls. Now, not that David Goggins shit, taking souls. Like, what I mean by taking souls is this. I wake up every morning and I want all my competitors that lurk my stories but don't follow me on Instagram to be like, damn it, there's Los again, because I'm retargeting all those. Another testimonial. Oh man, dude, that's another business insight. Dude, Los talked about looms. I didn't even know what looms were. So I'm drowning all my competitors, which I don't believe in competitors. I believe we're our own competition on the day. Let's say neighbors. Drowning my neighbors with all these testimonials to the point where they don't even want to start in business. So with Celco, I was like, Sam and Jose, you guys have box seating for the Dodgers, right? What if we give away World Series tickets? Like, fuck it. That ended up being a big ROI from them, not because of the giveaway, but because when people started landing on your page, because on giveaways, you're asking people to follow you, you're asking people to tag you and to share your giveaway, right?
Right, 100%.
But then from there, those people start following you and messaging you about your service. So you came off with goodwill, and on the back end, they're messaging about your service. Why this works? Because the most important part after top of funnel, getting, opening the door, and then the homeowner following you for your business is retargeting ads. So my goal with all my clients is how can I speed up the process to retargeting ads? Because retargeting ads, you could target the same 300,000 people that have visited your profile in the past 30 days for less than $5 a day. So we could load up retargetings with testimonials, what you like to do for fun, family photos, and that's always being top of mind for your clients. So my strategy is I do a quick top of funnel testimonial, and then we throw in a massive giveaway and we retarget those people, because the whole strategy here is to be top of mind. So when something does happen, they're gonna be calling you first versus going to a Google listing. Hey Clint, I see you have an HVAC business. How much do you charge for an install? Oh, 10 grand. Oh, Clint, let me call 3 other people. You get to avoid that problem by being omnipresent on Instagram. So that's why this is basically the process I like to just taking up the headspace of every single homeowner in the specific client zip code.
It's interesting that Lowe's says that is because that's our Hermosi concept. Hermosi talks about 10,000 touches with a potential client, even though they're not ready to buy, just to remind them you're still in business. So unknowingly, he's applied the Hermosi strategy to his own business by just staying top of mind. And that's what this is all about. First, you want to connect, and then you want to redirect. No one is going to buy anything from social media directly from an ad. And if they do, there's such a small percentage, it doesn't even make sense. These pages, when designed correctly, and they set up their businesses right, convert at such a high rate, it can be crazy. Now, just to throw out some numbers here, worked with Lowe's probably 4-ish, 5 months. He's grown his business to a pretty crazy level. General, he's seeing a 15x return on his business model. Average is probably 6-ish for most businesses. So that's insane by just understanding, laying down the foundation of content, understanding a conversion mechanism on how we convert traffic over into a potential client, and then gaining attention through whatever stylization he chooses to do on his front end top of funnel marketing for advertising, and including his banger retargeting system, which is, I don't retarget like Los does. Los does it. He's my retargeting. He's a 10x version of my retargeting. I have 4 retargeting ads that I personally like, and I throw it in there and they convert fine for me. His crush. That just to say that, but my front end stuff is crazy. All right, so that's all the business stuff out the way, kind of where we're at, what we've been doing. You're a Inland Empire guy, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, that's sick. SoCal for 20-something years, 26 years now. What does the future look like for you? Kind of, let's talk real quick about one of the biggest opportunities that you see, without giving it all away, but where are your businesses currently struggling, and kind of where do you kind of want to take your business to helping them on another level?
So I feel with every business, if you're just starting out, you could go on YouTube University, right? But then you'll get to a point in business where you're overwhelmed with the amount of tasks you have to do. And let's just say Clint is hanging out with this girl, and his girl's like, why are you texting this potential lead in front of me? And I'm like, Clint, you do know that's a $7 an hour task. So you're like, hold on, babe. Sorry, these $7 are more important than me spending quality time with you. So that's when that aha moment went for my clients, because my clients on the visibility team, they were getting a lot of leads, but they weren't following up with the leads. So the money is found in the follow-up. Yes, you'll get some sales off the rip, but your big record months will come after 3, 4, 5, 6 months because it starts to compound. Who's gonna do that compounding for you? I don't believe in landing pages. I don't believe in automation bullshit. I believe in human connection. So all my clients on my team have virtual assistants. So a virtual assistant, pretend it's like your grandma or your mom that's like gun-ho. They like your post, they comment on it, they're like, this is amazing. They check in with you every 3 to 4 days. Hey, how's everything going? That's nurturing all your followers and being top of mind with them instead of paying some stupid automations. I know you love automations, but like for me, my virtual assistants, they comment on their posts as if they're that business owner. So by the time they're ready to buy, it's an easy decision because it's like this. There's trust already created. I have a lot of my clients that when they go to a customer's house, they're like, damn, Clint, you're very expensive, but I'll rather work with you by just because I feel like I already know, like, and trust you. You can't do that with Google. With virtual assistants, you're creating know, like, and trust by paying somebody pennies a day to be top of mind. So that's a big, how can I say it? I really feel like that's the biggest bottleneck with every single business is not knowing how to find a virtual assistant.
100%.
So when you're on my team, the next day you're interviewing 3 virtual assistants.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, if you want free game, go on onlinejobs.ph, onlinejobs.ph, and good luck filtering 1,000 plus people that want to work for you. Every single virtual assistant, I treat it like a basketball. I don't want mine's a sports, like a basketball game. There's your A players that are playing, and then there's the players that are on the bench that still train with the A team. They're just as good, but they're just waiting for that player to get injured. So I have a lot of players on my bench right now that are ready to go. So if a business owner joins my team today, tomorrow morning they're talking to 3 players that are professional appointment setters. But here's the biggest aha moment. I tell these business owners, I audit their time. Hey, what are the boring tasks you're doing on your computer? Is it emails? Is it text messaging? Is it responding to people on Google and Yelp? What if that virtual assistant was able to buy back that time? Sure. What could you do with that time? What's that high lever task that Clint can do in his business where he could just stay in his zone of genius and his virtual assistant could do the rest? I am the most unorganized person in the world, but he saw my ads, and my virtual assistant, I wake up every morning, my calendar is beautiful, my ads for my Google Sheet is perfect, my CRM is perfect. I'm not in charge of that. My job is just to see the weekly reports and see that it's good, and we move forward. So virtual assistants really helps an ADD person like myself stay organized and stay on top without even thinking about those tasks. Because once you start focusing too much on those little tasks, you get insecure.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm so drained. Why the fuck did I have to do this?
100%.
So for pennies on the dollar, a virtual assistant is something that many business owners need today.
100%. And when you're scaling a business, just rule number 1, and this isn't about business, this is just a rule of thumb that you should do as any person that's trying to do everything as a solopreneur, is figure out how to remove yourself from the lowest cost task humanly possible. For example, if you're a CEO of a business, why are you throwing out your own trash? I get it, you're humble, but you pay people to do those things. That CEO, do you think Elon Musk he's taking meetings with billionaires in 5-minute increments? Do you think his time is best spent running five multi-billion-dollar organizations by himself or throwing away that trash? That's rhetorical. Hire someone to do tasks that are more appropriate at some other lower cost level so that you can scale your business. I wholeheartedly believe in that, unless you're like me. And there's something wrong, I was dropped as a kid. But that's why I like to do the things I do. Also, and just to clarify, I don't really not believe in in-person work or automations. If it's connecting with people, humans do it better than the machine currently. But if you want to scale a business, you will need layers of automations. 1 funnel where there's human interaction or 2 funnels is fine. I believe you can automate at a higher level of business and create wider profit margins with targeted efficiencies, automations, and tech. That's just me, because I want to be one person that's driving a spaceship instead of maybe requiring 15 people to drive that same ship. That's what I would rather do. Real quick, Los, how do people get a hold of you and connect with you if they're interested in doing business?
Just follow me on Instagram, Los Body Los Body by You, Body BYU. Yeah, that's where they can connect with me.
And just like everything, so first you observe what's happening in the world, you connect, and then don't be afraid to spend some money on ads. If you're running a business and you're in the online space, if you're some type of an online coach, if you have an info product, if you have a brick and mortar service or selling a product, none of that matters. If you have not mastered the online space with social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and even including Google, LinkedIn, X, it doesn't matter. You're going to be left behind because this younger generation is going to come in, they're going to be passionate about social media, and they're going to run past you so fast in 12, 24 months, it's not even going to be funny. I've seen it countless times where the incumbent, I'm an expert painter, and they're sitting there painting the wall over and over again by themselves. They've been in business 25 years, and a kid shows up. He barely knows how to put on the roller on the paintbrush. He figures out social media, and he has a 7-figure business inside of 18 months. And that painter is capped at making $5,000, $10,000 a month. I'm just saying, your skill often isn't tied to the amount of income you could be making. Figure out how to leverage the platform. One talks to many with your marketing. And once you understand that concept, you don't have to shake every hand. Your digital footprint can shake thousands and millions of hands every single day and take your business to levels you didn't even think possible with very simple systems. Until next time, guys, peace. Los, thank you, brother.
I appreciate you for having me on.
Always a pleasure, and like I said, 15x return on his ad spend. If you think this shit's all fucking fun and games and make believe, you keep thinking that. Watch what Los does next year.